In this section, we'll be discussing on the creation of the foot control. Now, if we recap, okay, for the leg, we actually have not only the original joints, we also have the IK joint and the FK joints as well. Okay, so there is the element of the IK and the FK. So what we are going to create are two controllers, okay, the IK and the FK. Now, so what I like to do is first I'm going to create the IK controller, and I'm going to use a NURBS circle. Just going to click a NURBS circle. Okay, I'm just going to leave the pivot point in the middle, not an issue. And then I'm just going to select control vertices. Just going to move the vertices, control vertices. Okay, sometimes when you want to select, okay, you kind of select your IK handle or kind of select your joints. Okay, so it helps to kind of just isolate, okay, your controller for the moment. Go to control vertex. Okay, select all your control vertices. Let's kind of move it out now. Okay, so I like to usually kind of follow the shape of the model that I have, right? Whatever the models have presented to me. Okay, I'll try my best to kind of help the animators create controller that is user friendly and easy to kind of grab as well. Okay, the other thing I would like to do is I do not really like my controllers to be messy, so I try not to overrun the center of the grid. Okay, so that's easy to know. Okay, this controller is belonging to the left side and not the right side. So I think that's quite okay, right? Okay, so this is the left side. Okay, and with the pivot point is still in the middle. Now if for any reason your pivot point was shifted, okay, probably you move your controller out, okay, and stuff like that, you can simply snap it back to the middle, or you can also go to modify, reset transforms, and it will just reset back to the center of the grid. Okay, with all controllers that you create, it's best to delete by type history, okay, and also freeze transform. Right, so I'm just going to press Ctrl D to duplicate the second one. For the second one, under the scale X, I'm going to put a negative sign, so it's going to be -1. And what Maya does for me is just going to flip it across the X axis. So scale -1, you just flip to the other side, and you can see even for the shape, okay, it's kind of like a mirror image kind of shape. Okay, but remember this is -1, so freeze transform it to be set back to 1. Okay, but you will still keep the shape of the mirror image controller. Now for the pivot point, for the left side, I'm going to bring the pivot point to the ankle. So I'm going to click on D, okay, to move the pivot point, and I'm going to press V as well. So press D and V, okay, press and hold both keys and drag it to the center of the ankle. Okay, same for the right side. Now one thing to be careful, you need to click in the middle here where the yellow ring is. If you click anywhere on these other rings, okay, your pivot is going to get rotated. Okay, so be careful with that. Okay, press D and V and snap it here. Okay, cool. Now, so the next thing I like to do is I also like to color code my controllers. Right, so you can select a controller, you can go to, I'll show you guys where to go. Okay, so go to object display. Under object display, you can see drawing overrides, and here you can just enable overrides and choose the color you want. So normally for me, all my left hand side I kind of color code with a bright blue, and my left hand side I like to kind of color code with bright red. Okay, so if you choose a color on one side, stick to it, and the other stick to it as well. Okay, so that everything on the left side is uniform, same color, and the right side have its own color. Okay, so that's one thing to kind of take note as well. Now, so once we have this is the IK. Let's call it L underscore foot IK, capital I, capital K, foot FK underscore control. Okay, and let's copy that, paste on the right side, and let's rename the L to R. There you go. Okay, now for the FK controller, in our previous series, what we do is, if you remember, let me shift H and hide it. I create a globe controller, okay, as a template, right? So I'm just going to click Control D, and I'm going to drag one here, Control D again, and drag another one here. Okay, so my original template, I'm going to hide it away again. Right, so I have these two controllers. I'm going to drag this, press V, I'm going to snap it to the ankle, and for this, press V, snap to the ankle as well. Okay, so the next thing I'll do is I'll select both of them. Okay, delete history by type, freeze transform it. Okay, if you want to color code it, right? So remember, for the globe controls, it actually has three shapes. Okay, so when you actually select and you click enable overrides and give a color, let's say bright blue, only one of the shape is turned. Okay, so in this instance, if I want to do the color coding for all three shapes, I have to bring back my shape nodes here. Okay, which one is this? Node circle 2. Okay, so I have to click on shape, each one of them. So the first one, yeah, that's the one applied. The second one, unfortunately, it's not applied, and the third one as well. Okay, so this is the small little part that's a little bit of a cumbersome here, that you kind of need to go one by one. Okay, that's the only downside to this, that I feel Maya should actually enable us to do it, a single one kind of short thing, right? But it's a small matter, and there you go. Okay, all done. Okay, don't forget to turn off your shapes. Right, so let's rename them. So this is going to be called L underscore foot FK, so capital F and K underscore control. Let's copy that. And for the left side, let's change the L to R. There you go. Okay, so you have your IK foot control, FK foot control for both the left and the right hand side. Okay, so that's all we need to do to create the controllers.